Hi, this is Rebecca Black from syntonicbirth.com, and I'd like to ask you, what are your coping mechanisms moment to moment for when things just get too much, or you get stuck in resistance or the static that we all have in our lives? And I thought I'd share with you, having posed this question to myself, a few strategies and tips that I find incredibly useful. And the number one thing that I use, and the quickest way to get centered and grounded and calmer, is the breath, to tune into the breath. And quite often when we're stressed, even though we think that we might be breathing perfectly fine, I find that when I tune in and actually ask, where is my breath? How deep is my breath? What pace is my breath? How free is my breath? I always find that I can let go a little or a lot more and just allow the breath to drop in. And then, preferably with feet grounded, bare feet if possible, I can tune into the breath and then ask my body to release. And I always say to my massage clients, to develop a practice of just ask your shoulders to drop and you'll be surprised. They always will. A lot or a little, just like the breath. And then as I get quieter and tune into the quality and placement of the breath, I can get quiet enough to tune into the heartbeat and feel the pulsations of the heart beating, emanating through my body. That's my number one tip. I can whip through a few others. Another fantastic in the moment one, because the beauty of the breath is you can take it anywhere and you can tune in any time. Great if you can lie on the floor, but you don't have to. We berate ourselves all the time, don't we, with this negative self-talk that we would never subject other people to, but we do it to ourselves, don't we? Why? I don't know, but we do. I do. And so with the refurbishment that we've been having lately, I've had quite a month of testing all of this. So I might find myself quite a lot saying, I can't live like this. So my top tip is to just flip it to the opposite on a very simple level. I can't. I can. I can. I am. I can't live like this. I can live like this. I am. And I am grateful for it. And immediately I can think of all the reasons why I'm grateful that we're having the refurbishment, all the reasons why I have so much to be grateful for that others don't. And it takes me to a very different place, energy and vibration, just like that. Just a choice to flip that thought to the opposite. I find movement, to change state basically, is a fantastic way to shift things. So whether that is to ease and stretch in any way that my body feels it needs to, which is a really good first thing in the morning and last thing at night practice before getting out of bed and before getting into bed, or to go for a brisk walk, or stick on some music, because music's a great state changer, and have a good old dance. I don't do enough of that, but it's really powerful when I do. In desperate measures, when feelings override me, I don't do it enough, but EFT or tapping is a fantastic resource. So even though I feel so completely overwhelmed, or even though I have a list as long as my arm of things to do and I just can't get through it, even though it feels like I'm drowning in all the chaos and the clutter, I completely love and accept myself. Do that 3 times. All this overwhelm, all this frustration, all the things I have to do, all this overwhelm and so on. And I can do another video for the tapping, but that's a really good one. another really powerful one, which again I don't do enough, but is so helpful for me, is to lie down on the ground outside. So if I can get up to the heath at the top of the hill, lie down on the grass, and just let my body sink into the ground, plant my feet, knees up, and look up at the sky, and immediately just it shifts my perspective, to look at the clouds, see that passing by, or just look up at a tree from the ground. Changes your perspective and gives you perspective on life when things just feel too much. And another thing that I try to do daily, but fits and starts, but I find a gratitude practice really wonderful. So last thing at night, when it's so easy to fall into bed and think, oh God, I didn't do this, I didn't do that, oh, I've got that to do, and you just feel so hopeless about where you're at. I have a little notebook and I keep it really small and allow myself one page, and I write down the things that I've achieved that day, and I'm the best. I judge what is really an achievement for me that day. On really bad days, when I first started this, when getting out of bed was an achievement, when I was feeling really depressed, but I'm not in that place now, so it might be I finally filed a year's worth of bank statements or whatever it is. And I write down on that same page the things that I'm grateful for. And I go to bed having completely shifted from that negative, self-berating mindset to a much kinder, self-rewarding place. And another lovely gratitude practice that I've started with my children, which is fantastic for getting them to sleep. It sets them off, gets them off like a light. Is a body scan, and so we start with the feet and we work all the way up to the head, and we just focus in. Thank you, feet, for all the holding up of my body that you've done today. Thank you, legs, for all the running, jumping, dancing, hopping, kneeling, whatever that you've done today, so on. Thank you, lungs, for all the breathing that you've done today. Thank you, heart, for all the beating that you've done today. And I go up, and I can keep it as basic or a bit more in depth for the older child, as I feel is necessary in the moment. And up to the head with thank you, mind, for all the thinking and problem solving and imagining that you've done today. And I take it into hypnotic language of dreaming, drifting, dropping, falling, dreaming off to dreamland, and so on, something like that. And I must get better at doing that for myself, because it's another really lovely way to just lie in bed and let go. So I do that sometimes listening to a wonderful recording I have. So I would love to hear your thoughts on any of these, or hear what tips you have for moving through resistance or the static of the day, or just for centering yourself. And if you'd like to know anything more about any of the things that I've mentioned, I'd be really happy to do some more videos or post a comment. So thank you for listening, and bye-bye.